Okay, once you've been converted to the new gradebook, you will no longer use this down here. This is what you've been using to get into your gradebook. You will not use that anymore. You have a couple of options to get into the new, it's called PowerTeacher Pro gradebook. You can either click PowerTeacher Pro up here, or to open your gradebook in the class you want to work with, you can click one of the PowerTeacher Pro links down here. So I will click, I'm a second grade teacher, I will pick reading. And it's going to open up the gradebook, and the first time it opens it, it'll take a couple seconds longer than it will after that. But once you get your gradebook open, you're going to see this is not the view that you're used to seeing from the old gradebook. The new gradebook opens in the assignment view. And these are the assignments that were converted from the old gradebook to the new one if you were just converted, or they could be the assignments that you've been putting in as you've been going. And this screen gives you information about the assignments, due date, percents, how many points it's worth, the name of it, etc. If you wanted to make changes to an assignment, you could click the edit over here, and I will show you how to get to this screen if you're not here in a little bit. Up here it'll tell you your name, so this is my name. If you want to see the score sheet that you've been seeing in your old gradebook, if you click on grading and click on score sheet, it'll take you to your kids' names and then the assignments you've been giving them. And if you see this arrow, that means there's more assignments to look at over here on the right. I can go all the way over. I'm all the way over to the end here. If you come down to the bottom, you can click from page to page. And if you wanted to add, let's say if I wanted to see more assignments per page, I could change this, let's say, to 15. Okay. And now I can scroll there. Okay, there it took. Now I can scroll to the right and see more columns per page. It just depends on how you want to do it. If you want to scroll from page to page, or if you want to see it all on one scroll like this, you can change this number. To create a new assignment, well, first thing you're going to want to do when you beginning of the school year or right after you've been converted, if you are a K2 teacher, primary teacher, you're probably going to want to switch your grading method. The default grading method is the grading method used through grades 3 through 8, and that was done just because we only are allowed to set one default grading setup, and we figured that since more kids are in grades 3 through 8 than are in K through 2, it made more sense to set the 3 through 8 grades setup as the default. And that's the formal assessments are 30%, informal assessments are 30%. I don't remember what the rest of it is off the top of my head. Class participation is something, homework is something. So anyway, if you want to change that, and I know the overwhelming majority of kindergarten through second grade teachers use some sort of a total points setup. So I'm going to come over here to settings, and I need to go to traditional grade calculations. And you will see I'm in reading, which is why reading pops up. If I scroll up the list here, my other subjects are here, but we can work with reading first. It says category weighting. And if I click over here, the little pencil, the edit, the action button, it's going to come up and it's going to tell me, okay, class participation is 10, homework is 10. That's the grade 3 through 8 grade scale. So what we're going to want to do here is we're going to want to change this to total points. So as a total points, you don't need all these extra categories. So we're just going to hit this minus sign to get rid of them. And then here where it says category weights, we're going to change that to total points. And we'll just, everything is total points, so we'll make the weight 100. When I hit save, it's going to come back here, and for Y1, which is the one I was working on for reading, it's under total points. Now, I don't want to have to do that for all of these individually, so I'm going to click this sprocket icon up here, copy traditional grade calculations. Within a class, I want to pick reading. I want to pick Y1, which is total points, and you see where it says select reporting terms, I'm copying it too, and I want to check the box next to each one of these. Validate, and then copy. What's going to happen when it's done here is it's going to change all of the marking periods, quarter 1, quarter 2, there you go, quarter 1, quarter 2 semesters, all those are now total points. I'm now done with reading. I'm going to X out of here so I can see. I'm now going to click the sprocket and copy again. This time instead of copying within the class, I'm going to copy to another class. Term is the school year term, class is reading, and I'm going to copy to school year term. I'm going to copy to all the other subjects. And you can do homeroom if you want. You don't have to, it's not graded, but I'm just going to do them all. I'm going to click validate. And you can scroll here and look. It's just telling you that all of your subjects, there's writing, homeroom. If I come down, behavior work habits, another one you probably don't need to do, but we'll do it anyway. I'm going to click copy. And this is going to take a couple of seconds here. This is not a quickie because what it's doing is it's copying all of your assignments, all of your grading system from reading and copying it to every other class you have. But now you look here and it's got writing, total points, very good. Social science, total points, very good. Reading was already done. Come back up here. There's science and health, very good. So now you can tell that they've all been done. If I click collapse all, it's just going to fold them all up. If I wanted to open one of them, I could click and it'll open up just math. Click again to close it. And that is how you copy your grade settings from one class, well, from one marking period to the other, and then from one class to the other, so you don't have to set that every time. And again, you have to do this if you're a kindergarten through second grade teacher because the default setup is the setup that's in the student handbook that the upper grade teachers use. And that's a once a year thing. So you've done it. If you've done it for this year, you're done. You'll probably have to. I believe you have to do it again at the beginning of every school year. It's definitely, if you don't have to do it, it's definitely something you want to check every school year just to make sure you've got the right grade setup.